G'day everybody, welcome aboard. Today we can do a bit of load testing and load development I've done for the old HOWA 270. I've got, you may or may not remember this rifle. I bought it a while ago. It's a second-hand little project rifle. I got it priced really well. Looks a bit ugly. It's a HOWA 1500 stainless sporter, chambered in 270 Winchester. As I said, looks a bit ugly. It's been knocked around a little bit. The bore's absolutely spot on, so I cleaned it up and scoped it, and it's not a bad little rifle actually. It shoots really good groups. And I thought I'd just do a little bit of load development, try some different projectiles on it. So I'll have a look what I'm going to use, and we'll have a look at some range results I got. And it does look pretty interesting. So stick around. This might get a little bit interesting. G'day everyone, welcome back. We're out here at the little range we got going at mate's place and doing a bit of load development. And today we can do it for the 270. Now HOWA 270 I've got. Now I'll just do a little brief pause and I'll show you the target and all the setup we got. There's our target down there somewhere. There it is. There's the target's way down there. That's at 100 yards. And I'll just come back here a bit. We've got our little shooting bench set up here with our 270 on it and our development load, so we'll see how we go. Right, a quick look at what we're going to use loading our in our development loads. Before I say this, I want to make two disclaimers. A, this is hunting ammo. That's all it is. That's all it's ever going to be. And B, this is what I do. This is how I load, and it's by no means a procedure which anyone should follow. And so, if you blow your brains out, don't ring me up. Okay. Winchester large rifle primers. You can get them. They're around the place. Take what you can. Again, hunting ammo. I don't think your primer really makes that much difference. Okay, that's for debate for a different time. ADI 2209 AR2209 powder. It's slower burning powder. I use that. I use that in the old 3006. I've used it in this 270 extensively, and I've also loaded some 243 up with it. It's a 2 grams with this powder. It's a quite an accurate powder, but it's a big boom to it, and you've got to use a Bobcat bucket full of it, and that's just the way it is. And it does punch a bit, so there we go. You also try some with some ADI AR2206H, faster burning powder. I load that one in 204, 223, 22, 250, 308, 3030, and I'm also going to try some with 243 down the track. And if you can get all your rifle shooting with that, you've got one big tin of powder to buy. You haven't got have to have all different types of powder around, so that's one good thing if you can make it all happen. Hornady 130 grade SST projectiles. That's what I have been using in the 270. I'll give you a quick look at these. There it is. They are very effective projectile. Very accurate. Very effective. Hit something with that, it doesn't go up. It doesn't get up, nor does it complain. So. And the ones we're going to try now, try in our development, and I'm looking forward to it, are the Spear 100 grain hollow points. Slightly, well obviously they're 30 grains lighter, but slightly more squat, flat-based projectile. Now, I was never a big fan of the hollow points, but if you remember a video I did not that long ago on this 308 I've got hold of, it shoots 130 grain hollow points absolutely deadly out of that. And talking to a few people, they had a lot of recommendation for these 100 grain spears, and it does seem the lighter your projectile, you can it's a little bit easier to stabilise it, and a lot of advantages come with shooting a lot of projectiles. But again, we'll get stuck into that later. But let's have a look at some results. And I was quite surprised by a couple of these, so we'll have a bit of a look and we'll see how we go. Right, one more little thing I will mention. My two bits of reference material. Use an ADI powder. Obviously use the ADI handbook, hand loader's guide, whatever you call it. That is a little bit of an older one, that one. What's that, 5-6 years old. Everything now is on the net anyway if you need it, but I'm not loading up these new calibers, so everything from way back in 2015, that's all still relevant. And again, keep that over here because the net sometimes isn't a flash over in the shed. And always cross-reference that with Nick Harvey's reloading guide. Some people have got their own opinion of that one. I don't mind that one. The thing I do like about that one instead of that one, it's the ADI one tends to go into a lot of super specific details with bullet types, brands, etc. Whereas Nick Harvey's book is mainly like more to do with bullet weight and again hunting ammo and some of these flash projectiles I mentioned. You're just not going to use them. So they're my 2 points of reference. And I had my old guides from my previous loads in the 270, and I had to work up something from for the 100 grain spears. So use them. It always works. Never let me down thus far. Right, first card up. 2209 powder, 130 grain Hornady SSTs. Basically what I've been using in the rifle. Now, I haven't measured any of these, so I've marked this card as a no good one. 53 grains, 53 and a half, not flash. 54, and 54 and a half. Look at that. But I know this rifle shoots better than that, way better than that. The day wasn't that bad. It was hot and humid, typical Queensland February day. Wind wasn't that bad. Wind was all right, and I had time constraints got hold of me, and I shot everything too quick. The barrel got too hot, so I'm not even going to look at that. I know it shoots the 54s, the 54 and a half. So that's just the way it goes. Right, let's have a look at this bloke. Now this is the same projectiles with 2206H. Now, 43 and a half grains. Now, if you have a look at the old, that 2209 load, our starting load there was 53. That's 43 and a half. Now that's a charge I used to throw a 150 grain projectile on a 308 with. Same powder. So 43 and a half grains. So you're 9.5 grains of powder better off straight away there. Now we've shot 0.795 of an inch there, boom, boom, boom. That's, I'm happy enough with that. Look at this one, 44 grains, 0.648. You got those two right there. That's two bullets. So that's easily shootable. That's fine. 44 and a half. Now that went out to 0.179. Like this one out here might be me. Those two there were 0.506. So that's still okay. 45, your maximum load at that powder. Pushing this projectile. Again, 1.164 inches, but these two are right on top of each other. Right on top of each other. That's almost can't measure that. So that's about what I will say, and this is the big caveat I say with this 2206H powder. You've got less powder in this, so it's money in your pocket. And you've also got there's way less recoil and way less noise. So that's something to look at. That's something to look at there. And the less recoil, they're actually a much nicer load to shoot. Those 2209 loads, they're quite cannon type loads, and they hurt a little bit. In the 270, this one's quite reasonable to shoot. The feeling of it's quite reasonable to shoot. It doesn't hurt as much. So we'll get the next one up. Yeah, here we go. We're on to the little spear 100 grainers. Little 100 grain spears. Now these were 2209. These were 2209. Okay, you've got 0.985 of an inch there, and that's at 58 grains. 58 grains of powder. That's what you push. That's what you're pushing like a 150 grain projectile out of a 30-06 with. Such is the charge of powder you put in these, and the muzzle blast and the boom and everything. It's huge to push a 100 grain projectile. That's ridiculous. So 0.985. This blew out to 2 inches, this one at 58 and a half, but you got this little whizzy one over here. Those two are at 0.665. Those two just there, so that's something. This lot blew out to 2.4 something. That lot, so that's huge. That one got just in under an inch, 0.92 or 93 or something. And again, 59 and a half. This is your maximum. Now, 59 and a half grains of powder. That's what I was pushing a 165 grain projectile out of a 30-06 with. To push a 110 grain projectile out of a 270. That's a monstrous load of powder. That's just ridiculous. And I think you're more than. I think you're nearly, again, 9.5, 10 grains more than with the 2206. So it's a price of stuff. That's just money in your pocket, so that's fine. And also the Hornady projectiles are starting to get a bit dear too. So there we go. So that's your 2209. Now this is the one I really got interested in. This is this 220. This is these little Hornadies with the 220. Sorry, not the Hornadies, the Spears with 2206. Boom, straight up. Now that's 0.835. Look at those two. They're absolutely right on top of each other. You can't measure that. That's just a hole. So that's shootable. 2.8 inches or something huge, but those two are 0.54, 0.55. So that's okay, that's shootable. Here's the one I like, 49.5 grains. Look at that. That's 0.67 of an inch. 1, 2, 3. And 50 grains your maximum load. Again, 50 grains of powder in one of these things to push this 110 grain projectile. That's 0.749, so 3/4 MOA there. Sorry, start again. 1.5 inches there, but those two, 0.749. So not brilliant, not bad, work with that, but those two are the ones I like. Now, one thing I will say, and this is, you can check with these, the Nick Harvey book. This load at 50 grains here, this load at 50 grains just there, according to the velocities in the API manual rather, that and 59.5 grains of 2209 claimed velocities, exactly the same, something like 3,400 feet per second. That's what's claimed in the book. Take that with a grain of salt, and if you've ever watched any of my videos, you know that bullet speed's not my biggest worry in the world, but that's an interesting fact that, and your pressures are exactly the same too. Exactly the same pressures, exactly the same speed from a load that's 9.5 grains lighter. So it defies logic. It defies logic completely to push this projectile with more powder that makes more noise and hurts you more. It just defies logic. So this is your powder. This is your powder. I'm thinking this load, that's the one I like, because I like to get up towards maximum, but that's okay, and that's quite shootable too. That's quite shootable. Again, this is hunting ammo. If you can hit that red square, you put 5 in that red square, that is going to kill anything. That is going to kill anything you're going to aim at. And 100 grain projectile, where we shoot in the bottom end of Queensland, that's going to kill anything. That's going to kill anything you're going to shoot at. You know, you only really want to go to this big stuff, really like bigger pigs. And this will knock pigs over. This will knock pigs over easy. And you want the bigger projectiles, obviously bigger guns and all that sort of thing. If you're going up north chasing buffalo or camels and all that crap, but like pigs, dogs, foxes, cats, rabbits, all the other vermin we get down here, that's plenty. That's plenty. And 100 grain projectile out of one of these is going to shoot flat. Going to shoot flat as a board. So there we go. And also, with these things, your point of aim is always in the middle of the dot. Now, look where it's chucking them. That's reasonably consistent, or not like height-wise. Like you would think that with a smaller projectile, they'd be up here. No, these things are all close. So to load up a batch of that, you're going to move that probably, they're 1/2 inch squares. You might lose that 5 clicks to the left, and you might move it, maybe 1 up, 1 maybe 2 up, and that's going to put you on the money. And if you shoot that group, that's going to do everything you want it to do. So I think that's our load. I was going to go and do the 2209s again because that first one was just no good. But look, I'm not going to worry about that because in this day and age, you just don't waste components when you don't have to. So that's our load. That's our load. Happy with that. We'll wrap this one up. Rightio, 270 load development done and dusted. Let's put him to bed. We've taken our old gun that it doesn't owe us a hell of a lot of money. Haven't done a hell of a lot to it. bit of effort, bit of load testing, bit of development, and you get yourself a good shooter. You don't have, this is hunting, if you use a hunting rifle, don't have to use mega dollar components. The brass I use in this is whatever I could scrounge up out of me cover, bits and pieces of this and that, and doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of difference to me. Again, as nice as it would be had to have a bucket full of lapel brass, drop one of them, you'll drop $2. And it's as simple as that. So, load development testing can be a bit like banging a tennis ball up against the wall for a while, but it all comes out worthwhile. You can go out, once you do all this, you can go out on your trips and your hunts and all that way out in the middle of nowhere. You're absolutely confident. You're confident in your gear. You're confident in your loads and all that sort of thing. The worst thing you have this in the back of your head. This mightn't be right. This might be right. It will ruin you. It will absolutely ruin you. Get all that rubbish out of your head. Go out and have a shoot. Develop your loads. Get them right, and you're laughing. Absolutely laughing. So there we go. Make the sport more enjoyable, and get better value for money in the long run. So there we go. That's the end of that. Please like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. I hope you found it a bit interesting. I hope you got something out of it. Load development does always tend to chuck up a little bit of information here and there, a few surprises. It's always turns out to be a bit of fun. And if you like to hear it, hit the thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. That'd be really good. So until next time, you can tell your wife, tell your girlfriend. You can tell them both. Develop two there. I don't care. Just go 2 clicks up. Ta-da.